General Holomisa, you referred to the burning of tyres and that nature of protest. Do you have any sympathy, at least, even if you don't agree with the method, for those levels of frustration that many South Africans have?
Let me qualify this by saying the people are frustrated because the ANC has forgotten about them. The only way which can help the people of South Africa to take us out of this quagmire we are in currently would be for the voters of this country not to vote for one political domination. One-party dominance, we have seen it. It breeds corruption. We always saw this thing in other countries in the continent, but we are now experiencing it in South Africa. And I hope that those who are in the streets, and if the ANC government doesn't resolve their problems, it's time that they must vote for other political parties. This country needs to be run through a government of national unity or coalitions. In that way, we would promote what we call checks and balances as enshrined in our constitution. We would immediately eliminate this abuse of state resources and corruption.
I mean, you're involved in coalitions in Nelson Mandela Bay.
Yes.
Hasn't always gone that well, and you've had some pretty strong words for the DA. I therefore say to the DA and Mr. Maimane, our door is open and we're willing to listen and work together for the benefit of the people. But we are not willing to do, what we are not willing to do is to be used as a stepladder in another party's fight to attain power. Isn't that inevitable in the world of coalition? It looks nice, sounds nice, but invariably you're going to hit the wall.
No, in the world of coalitions, if they are structured properly, like in countries like Germany and New Zealand, you will find that the big brother mentality doesn't work in those areas.
Yes.
Unfortunately, DA tends to just bully everybody. So that was the message. And for instance, recently, you know that they had a problem with the UDM in Port Elizabeth, where they accused Bobani of all sorts of things. And I said to them, April 2017, go and investigate this matter.
Yes.
When you are free, when you are finished, table the findings in the commission, in the council. We will take action if there's a need. Guess what? PwC forensic auditing came out, is silent on Bobani, yet they were saying they've got evidence of prima facie evidence of corruption against him. So how do you deal with such people who use dirty tricks campaign? Same thing is happening in Cape Town against Delil. If you differ with somebody, differ, but don't discredit him.
So you say, how do you deal with that? This is what you said about yourself in regard to Julius Malema and Mmusi Maimane. You said you play the uncle role. These are two very strong-minded, determined, and in many respects talented young men now competing for power. But they are young. Their judgment may not always be perfect. They will also have to learn that in politics, ruthless ambition must be balanced with a sense of timing and patience. So take us, if you will, into the Uncle Holomisa conversation with Mmusi Maimane, because you obviously have a problem with the DA. How do you approach him and what have you said?
I don't have a problem with DA per se, but
Yes.
I'm isolating one area.
Yes.
For instance, in Johannesburg, we are in coalition with DA. So, but in certain meetings, for instance, which I always chair, being a small political party,
Yes.
DA and EFF and other political parties, they don't quarrel with that being appointed to chair that session. But
Right.
sometimes the meeting gets hot and they differ fundamentally.
Yes.
So I had to neutralize both sides. At the end of the day, we say we want a solution to this. That's why we managed in the last 2 years to work together, marched in the streets against corruption and so on with all those parties.
Do you have any optimism that this election campaign will produce productive and fruitful debate about policy options, or is it going to be mudslinging about the past and the present, as we all too often see?
I think these elections are going to be issue-driven. People are tired of empty promises.
Yes.
The question, if you say you are going to do A, B, C, D, they are going to ask you how and when and where are you going to get the resources.
Yes.
So that is the issue, because currently our economy is not doing well either.
The other strong issue in the national conversation general is issues of race. Do you consider it to be healthy that we're having robust conversations, albeit sometimes hostile ones, around race? Or are you somewhat nostalgic for the Nelson Mandela era of rainbow nations and taking hands?
The truth of the matter is that we have lowered our guards when it comes to that, or have taken a step back. The issue of racism is engulfing the whole country, and it needs a careful understanding and a careful handling of it, including those who want to perpetuate racism. I'm happy that there is a bill in Parliament which is intended to punish those who still want to use racism as an event to achieve certain goals. But in order to eliminate racism completely, we need to address the backlogs and imbalances of the past, improve the quality of lives of all. And everybody must have access to financial institutions if they want to. There's a lot of things which we need to address quickly.
Do you accept, because this seems to be at the core of the debate, certainly around economic racism, that if black people are to have what they deserve, inevitably white people need to have less?
I'm not sure about less. More than that, the South African government has to have its own Marshall Plan on the same scale as the Afrikaners did when they took over after the Anglo-Boer War. So where you, as a state, you intervene in a big way to uplift your people. So there's a lot which the state has to do, even before thinking of taking from those who have.
Surely
but where I cannot understand is to sit down and expect 52 million black South Africans to queue for jobs which are provided by 3 million white population companies. That's not on. We have to produce our own wealth creators so that they can employ our people.
I want to finish by giving you 3 wishes, General Bantu Holomisa. What's your wish for the 2019 elections?
It should be free and fair elections, and that the misuse of state resources must not be the determining factor to expect that some people or parties which are running the country right now and in certain government institutions, they will end up favoring them. The last part is that we don't want no-go areas. Let us have a free movement and no intimidation, and also pray that in KwaZulu-Natal, the elections will be peaceful.
What's your wish for rural places like Nkanduli, where you were born and grew up?
Well, the wishes of many people in this country, rural in the townships, have always been for those who have been given power to improve their quality of life. But unfortunately, we've witnessed that those resources are channeled in a wrong way. I hope that they will vote wisely.
Finally, what's your wish for yourself?
Wish for myself is to be alive in the next couple of years and still contribute to build South Africa.
General Bantu Holomisa, many thanks for giving us your time on Under the Skin. It's been great
to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.